This story, How I Built a Business with Zero Capital, The Truth No One Tells You, is proudly brought to you by Money Sense Academy. In a village where the sun kissed the earth with its golden warmth, there lived a young woman named Adanna. She was like the baobab tree, rooted in resilience, but dreaming of the skies. Adanna had little in the way of wealth. Her home was modest, her possessions meager. Yet, in her heart, there burned a fire brighter than the noonday sun, a desire to build a life that was not only better for herself but also for her community. But how, you may ask, can one build anything from nothing? That is the story I shall tell you. Adanna's journey began in a place of scarcity, a place familiar to many. Her village was surrounded by vast fields and flowing rivers, but opportunities were as rare as rain in the dry season. She wove baskets to earn her daily meal, her hands moving swiftly, guided by skill passed down through generations. Yet even as she walked, she would glance up at the horizon and whisper, "There must be more." One day, as she walked to the marketplace, her eyes caught something unusual. Traders had come from afar, their carts loaded with vibrant beads that shimmered like the stars. Villagers gathered around, exchanging their hard-earned coins for these treasures. Adanna watched, her mind turning. What if I could make these beads, she thought. What if I could create something from what others overlook? But there was a problem, one that might have stopped many. Adanna had no money to buy materials. Not a single coin jingled in her pocket. Yet, where others saw lack, Adanna saw possibility. She began to gather what the earth offered freely, broken pottery from the village, shells washed up by the river, and seeds that fell unnoticed from the trees. In her hands, these humble items transformed. She shaped, polished, and threaded them into beads that carried the spirit of the land. Her first attempts were imperfect. The beads were rough, their colors dull. Yet, Adanna was not discouraged. She knew that every masterpiece begins as a rough sketch. Day by day, she refined her craft, her determination shining brighter than any gemstone. When she finally took her beads to the marketplace, she was nervous. The traders with their shimmering wares still stood nearby, their goods dazzling in the sunlight. But Adanna had something they did not. Her beads were not just ornaments, they were stories. Stories of the land, of resilience, of finding beauty in what others cast aside. At first, few noticed her. The villagers were hesitant to trust something so new. But Adanna understood the power of patience and persistence. She began to gift her beads to the elders and the women of the village. Slowly, word spread. "Have you seen Adanna's beads?" they began to ask. "They are unlike anything we have known." Soon, her small mart in the marketplace became a gathering spot. People came not only to buy her beads but to hear her story, how she turned nothing into something, how she wove her dreams into each piece. But Adanna's journey was not without hardship. One season, heavy rains swept through the village. The storm was fierce, tearing down her workspace and washing away her hard-earned materials. She stood amidst the wreckage, her heart heavy with despair. "Why does the earth test me so?" she cried. But as the sun rose the next morning, so did her spirit. Adanna gathered her team, a group of young villagers she had trained, and together, they rebuilt. This time, they used stronger materials, weaving palm fronds into sturdy walls to protect their work. It was in that moment Adanna learned one of her greatest lessons: true strength lies not in avoiding failure but in rising from it. As her business grew, so did her vision. She began to teach others her craft, showing them how to see potential where others saw waste. Her small hut became a hive of activity, filled with laughter, creativity, and the clinking of beads. The community thrived, and the once silent marketplace now buzzed with the sound of trade. Adanna's journey did not end with beads. She expanded her craft, creating baskets, clothing, and tools from the resources around her. Traders from distant lands began to visit her village, seeking the beauty and ingenuity of her creations. But Adanna never forgot where she started, with nothing but her hands, her heart, and her hope. She would often gather the villagers and remind them, what you lack in money, you can find in your mind. What you lack in resources, the earth will provide if you learn to look. And so, Adanna's story spread far and wide, carried on the lips of those she had inspired. She taught not only the art of crafting but the deeper art of believing in oneself. Her legacy is a simple truth, one that many overlook: you do not need riches to begin. You do not need perfect conditions to take the first step. What you need is courage, the courage to start, the courage to fail, and the courage to try again. And so, my dear listener, as you sit here tonight, ask yourself, what can you build with what you already have? The answer, like Adanna's beads, may be more beautiful than you can imagine. Follow our Facebook and YouTube pages for more contents like this.